Hey guys, the Pochard here. Today I'm going to react to War and Peace performed by Dimash. I believe this is 2021 version. I'm going to pause this video a lot. I've seen it. I've seen it more than once. If you just want someone to watch the video all the way through and then be flabbergasted at how great Dimash is, go watch someone else's video, reaction video. There are thousands of them, some of them honest, not all of them. That's not my channel is about. I might do that if it's actually warranted, but this song he specifically picked for the lyrics and the meaning, not for his vocal gymnastics. While his performance is impeccable, you can rest easy on that part. But as a warning, I'm a weirdo, so I'm gonna look at the translation and then I'm gonna look at the English translation and overall, based on what I'm thinking, I do not agree with a lot of it. If you disagree with me, you feel free to put in the comments. It's just my opinion. Alright, let's check it out. Lyrics by Yao Qian. English translation. Could be a lot better. I don't want to disrespect anybody. They did a great job. They did a decent job. It's not ready. See, that's already a problem. It's like who first believed who, but most of the war in history is caused by faith, which is not based on objective reality. Therefore, it is not about a belief system, or should I say, it's based on a faith system that's not based on a belief system based on objective reality. So it's not about me believing you. It's about me have faith in whatever I believe based on something that you cannot prove nor disprove. Open their arms is something else. I can open an arm to you. Okay. This paragraph I probably liked the most, despite the first one. War and peace, and then hatred and compassion. Okay, war and peace, they're different things. War is action, peace is inaction, right? Peace is the baseline, or love or peace is the baseline, should be, and war is a kind of action. And then you have hate and compassion. They're both a state of mind, so they're not really analogies, right? It's but anyway. I don't like that line. How can we heal and pacify this world? I really don't like that line. Okay, this is why I don't like that line. How can we heal and pacify this world? What is the core belief? Core belief. The core belief is how can we heal and pacify this world? It means that this world needs healing, which means that, on the surface level, you're like, yeah, I agree, this world needs healing. There's a lot of crap that's going on. But the problem is where attention goes, energy flows. So the core belief based on that line means that this world is messed up at its core and requires healing. And nothing, even though logically it seems the same. Let's look at this. War on drugs, war on guns, war on violence, war on war. Did any of them have any effect that's positive? No, it just gets bigger. Whatever tension you focused on, it gets bigger. Has anybody that's like broke And all day they're thinking about, how do I fix my brokenness? How do I fix my brokenness? How do I fix my brokenness? And they become wealthy. No, they focus on, how do I make money? How do I make money? How do I start a business? How do I make money? That's how they get out of that. So if you always focus on something that leads to the core belief that's a negative thing, you cannot get out of it. So what he said there was exactly what he said there. Yeah, how do we heal? It's like, you could say it in a different way, right? Like, he can make a lot more positive by saying, like, how can we make a paradise out of this world, and not so directly talk about the disease of this world. You know, how can we heal and pacify this world? It's a big deal. That's why, if when they train pilots, they never train pilots to focus on avoiding something, like avoiding the mountain, avoiding the tree. They tell pilots to focus on where they should go, not avoiding where they should not go. It does make a big difference. Dimash is great. Like, he always performs great. I'm reading Chinese, by the way. Deal. Between fire and ice and fire. Okay. Again, I don't like that. Good and evil will continue to lead the battle. The problem is, evil. What's battle? Battle is war. So good also battles. Evil do battle. Good practice compassion and try to get away from battle. You can only convert somebody by being the example, not to let them be the example and copy what they do. So good and evil should not do battle. That's not a thing. So good is basically copying evil in this case. I'm sure other reactors are flabbergasted at how amazing he is. Just this one I love. What he actually said is not the final answer is on the blink of a heart, although that's a pretty good translation. He says the ultimate solution is a single thought. A blink of a heart, sure. Not just a single thought. It's almost like a single, like you take a blink of a heart as well as a single thought. You mix them together, that thing, like that. And this relates to Buddhism, which is they have a saying: a single thought is the difference between heaven and hell. So let's say somebody wants to take a revenge against another person. He's gonna kill another person, and Shaolin monk would say, one thought is heaven, one thought is hell. So please consider carefully before you take action. That's what he means. So that's what that means. The answer is, despite how much you want to do it, the single thought is the difference between night and day, and the difference between whether we elevate ourselves spiritually or we just keep going downwards towards hell. This line I hate the most. I disagree with the most. Let me see if I can. Okay. First he said war and peace. Then he says misunderstanding and understanding. Whoever wrote the lyrics, they need to read a little bit about history and realize that 95% of the history of people is not due to misunderstanding and understanding. It's due to conflict of expansion of resources, right? They want more resources, of trying to get more and more power. Think Alexander the Great, think Genghis Khan, think World War I, World War II. There's no misunderstanding. or understanding. They just want to take over. They more power. There's also ideology differences. So it's not like I don't understand what you believe in, but what you believe in is not the same as what I believe in. So therefore, you got to. So it's not about misunderstanding. It's intolerance. So that lyrics, that line, it's like, think about all the war in history and all the people that nothing to do with misunderstanding. This line I really like. Tears eventually turn into fossil over time. It reminds me of a poem. There's a poem, I forgot who wrote it, but it's a traveler who tells of it's a poem about a traveler who tells seeing like a ruined statue. He was traveling through desert, right? And he sees a ruined statue. I believe it's about a king who is called Osmandius or something like that. And on the pedestal of the statue, there's an inscription. It's an inscription, and it says, "My name is Osmandius, King of Kings. Look upon my work, the mighty and despair." However, around the statue, like everything's broken. There's nothing but boundless and bare desert, and stretched far away. Basically, the point is that it's just that the humans, like people's hubris, to fight against time and try to preserve something against the inevitable decay of legacy. Not that you cannot build a legacy, but if your whole existence is based on try to sustain legacy, that's just that's just a mistaken idea, right? And a lot of the energy is just lost in the moment, and by doing so, they're wasting their time. And no matter what, actually, one should always do, they should have the frame of mind to stop the war in the now, because war to many people is the best way to cement one's legacy. However, legacy, like what he says, turns into fossils and then blew away by the sands of time. So war ultimately accomplishes nothing. So it's really, one should really go for, love and peace. That's why this line is nice about that. One should always focus a little bit more on the here and now, because if you focus on legacy in the future, by the time that comes, it's still going to be here and now. Except, it's going to disappear. Whatever you want to be your legacy is going to disappear. And the answer is really no. And also, this one I don't really like that much, because love and hate, there's obviously two different philosophical of thought. One is like the opposite of love is hate, but really, love and hate are two sides of the same coin, because that object you care deeply. That's why so many people break up with relationships, because the person they love the most becomes the person they hate the most. And the other philosophical thought is that the opposite of love is actually complete apathy. They don't care about them at all. So this part here depends on your philosophical thought, but the opposite of love might not be hate. It might be just complete apathy. And also true love, right, is unconditional. So this, when they say love and hate and all that, it's not true love. So it's not the baseline that human beings should strive toward. Intolerance. That's true. Yeah, I wish the lyrics would go a little bit deeper and explore some of the themes that's a little bit more towards the ideal baseline of humanity, because love and in this version of War and Peace, it's almost like very superficial, very surface level. 500 years ago, we have gladiators that basically chop each other's limbs apart, and we're watching and we're like clapping our hands. Nowadays, we do the same thing, not with real gladiators. We watch them on in the movie theater, and we do the same thing, right? People basically kill each other. If there's an advanced being or angel or something, they'd be freaking out. That'd be like would be like us. Would be like we watching like a cannibal tribe eating each other. Be like, what the hell is going on? So so the baseline of the humanity needs to change, and War and Peace should not even be a thing to be discovered, to be discussed, right? So I wish that this song would focus a little bit more. And another thing is that he keeps talking about War and Peace, and there's a few things that is not brought to public attention. For example, I gotta be really careful with my word here. The total casualty in World War II. Well, not let's make it simple. In Japan, when we dropped these two little boys on the cities, it's about 210,000 casualties, something like that, right? Guess what? In Africa, since 2018, the casualty is about 250,000. Various insurgencies in Africa is over 100K. Since 1970s, the civil conflict is way over 100, actually way over 200K in the Philippines alone. So hatred is like cultivated thing, and it cultivates it. The guy who had this, and it's come from ignorance, and the guy who cultivates it spread out to others. That's something that this song did not address the core issue at all, right? Didn't address the core issue of why this thing happened at all. And Nigeria, I believe it's like, if you just want to be more depressed, Nigeria since 2010, there's 150K. Sudan, double that. The Mexican cartel, 150K. And in history, we countless. It makes recent things looks like a joke. So we don't see that on TV. We don't see that on media. Where is the donation button from all the corporations, right? Where all the coverage? Nothing. So you gotta realize where humanity actually is right now in terms of our spirituality. We're quite ignorant, and we're quite further away from where we should be in terms of baseline, from true love, where we see war and this version of War and Peace as just something that is so bizarre that we don't even think about it, right? Where true love should be the baseline. Anyway, I can talk a lot more about this, but you kind of get what I mean, and I think Dimash did a great job. But you can see why I don't necessarily agree with every part of the lyrics of this song. And yeah, talk to you guys later.